Y'all know what I'm noticing? Like, after I made the video about Errol Spence calling out Sebastian Fundora and winning that fight, and about, Terrence Crawford deserving, he is the most deserving of their fight, and how I like broke down everything and why do I think the rematch hasn't taken place. A lot of people want me to hate Errol Spence and trash him. They want me to trash Errol Spence and rake him through the coals. For what? For what, bro? Like, let's be for real, man. Like, I see people saying stuff like, oh, nobody want to see Errol Spence no more after that ass whooping. Who want to see him fight, bro? A lot of people still want to see him fight. Yeah, he took an ass whooping. It happens. It comes with the sport. But he should just tuck his tail and go hide in the corner somewhere because he took a L? Because he got beat? Bro, bounce back. That's bounce back, man. I don't know who raised some of y'all. All that because you get whooped on, now you just supposed to just hide and go stay in the corner somewhere. No, man. He spent time licking his wounds, man, chilling with his family, probably deciding, hey, man, do I still, I'm having these issues with my health. Do I still want to be in the sport? Hell yeah. And he came back and he wanted to go fight the winner of Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora. And I'm supposed to trash him because he not immediately jumping into a rematch with Terrence Crawford, when a lot of y'all said that he shouldn't even do that if that's what he wants. If he wants to fight Terrence Crawford again, a lot of y'all said he should get some other fights under his belt before he try to come back to that fight. A lot of y'all suggested that he shouldn't just go into that rematch and he should try to see where he is and gauge where he is in the fight game after taking a beating like that. A lot of y'all said that. So now I'm supposed to hate him because he going into a fight with Sebastian Fundora and them? I'm supposed to hate him for that? No. He going and trying to fight top competition still. Competition that is not as skilled as Terrence Bud Crawford. These are good fighters for sure. Tim Tszyu better than Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian's good. Tim Tszyu is a very, very good fighter. But they ain't Terrence Crawford. So if Errol want to try his luck against guys who he feel like is less than Terrence Crawford in preparation for a rematch, then okay then, right? Now I understand some of y'all feel like, okay, he taking that fight away from Terrence Crawford. Okay, I get that. If you want, Terrence Crawford is deserving of that fight more. But as I told y'all before, Errol Spence is with the PBC, Tim Tszyu with the PBC, Sebastian Fundora PBC. They're looking out for the best interests of the PBC of their company, right? And what's in their best interest is to build Errol Spence's star power back up before trying to give him a rematch with Terrence Crawford. See where he is. Allow time for the fans to see, oh, Errol Spence is still Errol Spence. He still is a very good fighter. Put him in there against a worthy opponent and see if Errol Spence can put on a show or put on a clinic. And if he is, there will be more interest in a rematch with Terrence Crawford than it is now. Because a lot of the fans, after the fight, said they had no interest in seeing a rematch. A lot of y'all was, like I'm talking about, loudly and proudly saying we don't need to see that again. A lot of y'all said it. Hell, Terrence Crawford don't even want to fight Errol Spence again. He don't. He's not interested in that fight. He himself said he's moving on to bigger fights. He do not want to fight Errol Spence. He don't. He want to fight Canelo Alvarez or some other big fights like Jermell Charlo and them. He want to go to big money fights. Big money fights is what he said. Errol Spence and him is not a big money fight currently because you can't convince the public to go and buy that fight after how one-sided it was. You can't. Unless fans feel like, oh, okay, if Errol Spence put on some dominant performances or put on a dominant performance against another guy who's very good, and Errol Spence, let's just say, stops him. And the fans will say, oh, well, maybe Errol Spence is stronger. Maybe Errol Spence is a little better at 154, even though me as a big Errol Spence fan, I saw what I saw. Even at 154, Errol Spence is going to lose against Terrence Crawford. He probably could put up a better showing for himself, but I believe the gap is too wide. The spread, the margin is too wide for Errol to cover in that short of time. He needs, short of time to try to get up to the skill level of Terrence Crawford. I saw in the first round, Errol landed some nice thudding shots, but when I saw he couldn't stay out of the way of Terrence Crawford's jab, he was not fast enough, he couldn't stay out of the way of it, I knew my boy EJ was in trouble. I did. Right? But anyway, they have to build that fight back up. in order for that to happen. It's not going to sell. People are going to bootleg the hell out of that fight. It's going to sell much less than it did before because people feel like, why am I paying for this again? Errol Spence does not possess one punch knockout power that Deontay Wilder has. If it's Wilder, okay, cool. Wilder can crack. You can get cracked and you can get hurt. But Errol Spence has never been a one punch knockout guy. He's not. He's been an accumulation guy. For real. So they got to build their fight back up and okay, put him in there with Sebastian Fundora. I understand. And I don't think Errol Spence fights Sebastian Fundora. I believe their rematch is getting triggered. You know, the rematch with Tim Tszyu. He's going to try to, and rightfully so, Tim should get a rematch after the incidental elbow because I believe it did change the landscape of the fight. It changed everything in that fight, right? But anyway, man, it's people that want me to, like, people saying shit like, nobody want to see Errol Spence no more after that ass whooping. Errol Spence is a joke. I see people saying stuff like that man got dog walked and now he's on stage calling out Fundora at 154. Bro, what the fuck? You want him to cower like a bitch? You want him to be a hoe? Like, I don't get this. Like, this is the problem in boxing too, because all y'all say, oh, well, the promoter's getting in the way. A lot of the problem is now y'all trying to call Errol Spence trash and he's a joke. Since he got dog walked in the last fight, he shouldn't be wanting to go fight other big opposition. He shouldn't want to. So a lot of y'all saying, hey, fight somebody else other than Terrence Crawford to see where you at. So you want him to go fight a super cupcake? It should still be good that Errol Spence is still fighting top competition, not named Terrence Crawford to get him prepared or get him better acclimated to a fight with Terrence Crawford and try to test out different wrinkles. It should still be good for the fight fans to say, okay, Errol not fighting Terrence, but he's fighting worthy opposition, and Errol Spence brings exciting fights. I don't care what y'all talking about. You can hate EJ all you want to because you hate Al Heyman and you hate what's going on with Terrence Crawford not getting a fight, and you hate that you think Floyd Mayweather is blocking Terrence Crawford from getting fights because he don't want Terrence to be looked at as great as he is. You can feel all of those ways, but Errol Spence has exciting fights. We saw an exciting fight against Kell Brook when he got the IBF strap. We saw a potential fight of the year against Sean Porter when he got the WBC strap. The Ugas fight was exciting. It was for the most part, Errol was putting on the clinic, but it was exciting. The Mikey Garcia fight, now it was one-sided like a motherfucker, but it was exciting. Errol has a fan-friendly style. He's a volume puncher. He likes to fight in close quarters. He likes to bang it out. He utilizes the jab. He throws hooks, power punches, uppercuts, all of those things that you can see. It's not quick little jabs all night. He landing some thudding shots, even if it ain't knockout power like Terrence Crawford, because he doesn't possess the knockout power that Terrence Crawford has, but he has a fan-friendly style, right? So why, nobody want to see Errol Spencer. He shouldn't be saying nothing after the ass whooping. So after he take a loss, he should just be a bitch and not say nothing. He should just go in the corner, tuck his tail and say, I'm done. That's what's wrong with the sport. After one fighter take a loss, now he ain't shit now, and y'all got to be careful because a lot of the Terrence Crawford fans, and I respect Bud, I'm not going to talk shit about Terrence Crawford on this channel acting like he ain't shit. The man showed me what he was when he went in there and beat my guy from pillar to post. He was already showing what he was before then, but he showed me that real shit in that fight. One-sided all the way around. So he is the man. He is the top dog in the sport. I'm never taking that away from Terrence Crawford. But a lot of y'all, in order to big up Terrence Crawford, you trying to shit on Errol, when that is Terrence Crawford's best opposition. I don't care how easy the fight was, based on accomplishments and Errol Spence being a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter at the time, and Errol Spence being unified champion with 3 belts during the time that the welterweight division was stacked and loaded, and Errol Spence was fighting the likes of Kell Brook, Sean Porter, you hear me? He was fighting your Dennis Ugas, who just went in there and smoked Manny Pacquiao, right? He went in there and beat Danny Garcia after the accident. In the loaded welterweight division, he went and fought top quality competition. Now Errol ain't shit now. What you don't know is when you say that, when you calling him a hype job, it takes away from Terrence Crawford's win. That is the best one on his resume. Not Bradis Prescott, not Victor Postal, not older Kell Brook. Sean Porter is a great win. He stopped Sean, right? He stopped Sean. He did. But Errol Spence Errol is a better name. He beat Sean. And don't hit me talking about, Sean really won because he didn't. He didn't. I had Errol winning 7-5. Okay? Yeah, the knockdown edged it, but Errol won the fight. You hear me? So, and Sean Porter know that, which is why he didn't put up a fight about it. But now everybody, because you upset what's going on with Bud not getting fights, Now Errol ain't shit and he's a joke. Cause he wanna fight some more heavy competition? Again, who the fuck y'all want him to fight? Blair Cobbs? What the fuck the boy name is? The one that think he Ric Flair. His name Blair Cobbs, whatever his name is. The one that be talking crazy all the time, acting like Ric Flair, that says some stuff about Errol Spence. Y'all want him to fight him? And y'all will call Errol all type of, he ain't shit, he trash if he go in there and go fight dude. I see people talking about Errol is embarrassing himself. He still calling himself the big fish. What is he supposed to think about himself? He's supposed to say, I guess I'm not shit no more. Took a loss. I got beat. I took a demoralizing beating. So now I'm just not shit. I guess I gotta be humble. I guess I can't think of myself highly. I guess I gotta just think I ain't shit. I gotta just say, I'm never going to be anything to make the fans like me. Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't know where you people from. What do you think he gonna call himself a guppy now? Because that's what you want him to say? Hell no, he gonna still talk confidently about who he is. Like other fighters do after they took losses, man. Mike Tyson didn't stop becoming Iron Mike Tyson after Evander Holyfield went upside his head. And he didn't. After Buster Douglas beat him, he didn't stop being Iron Mike Tyson. He still said he was Iron Mike. Even after he got beat. And we knew Evander had his number. Don't tell me about no shit about Mike going to jail. And before jail, Evander was trying to fight him before he went to jail. And Evander had his number before that because he was beating them when they was growing up in the gyms then. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, like, all this, like, people want me to hate Errol Spence. He's trash. He ain't shit. He ain't nothing. If he ain't nothing, why is that Terence Crawford's best win on his resume? It was an easy fight. But I'm going to keep this in mind for y'all. See, styles make fights. Errol could go in there and demoralize a lot of guys. Terence Crawford does shit that a lot of other boxers can't do. Let's be for real. He's more skilled than Canelo Alvarez all the way around. You saw what my uncle said about that, right? Terence Crawford hits exceptionally hard. Much harder than a lot of other welterweights. Jerron Boots Ennis hits hard too, but we haven't seen him fight higher competition, right? Terence Crawford was motivated more than any fight he's ever had to beat Errol Spence because there were a segment of people who thought he would never beat Errol Spence. Even though Terence Crawford was the favorite going into that fight, right? There were a lot of people who felt like he would not beat Errol Spence. Errol Spence was too big and too strong, right? Errol Spence was the guy standing in the way of him being undisputed champion in two weight classes, right? It was a dude standing in front of him who people felt like he couldn't beat, and he was standing in the way of him being two-time undisputed. Terence Crawford was motivated more than any fight he's ever had to beat Errol Spence. So he went and he had extra vigor, extra determination to whoop Errol Spence in a way that he didn't have to whoop Sean Porter. That's his friend, right? He didn't have the same motivations to whoop on David Avanesian and all, and he didn't have that. He didn't have the same vigor to whoop on Mean Machine the same way he wanted to whoop on Errol Spence because people wasn't saying he gonna lose the Mean Machine. People wasn't saying, some people felt like he would lose against Sean Porter, but Sean was his friend, right? People wasn't saying you're gonna lose against Kell Brook. Nobody thought that. Some people might have thought, hell no, not me. No. But anyway, man, it kills me. I mean, people want you to trash Errol Spence and act like he ain't shit and he was always a hype job. Bro, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. If you know boxing, you know that welterweight division. Kell Brook coming off of eye surgery or fucking not. Errol Spence broke his other eye, not the eye that Triple G broke, right? And Errol Spence, in that fight, Kell Brook was moments where he was winning rounds and looking like he was going to win the fight. Errol Spence bit down, showed resiliency, and got him up out of there over in a hostile environment in the UK. You hear me? Right? Errol Spence went in there and fought Sean Porter, tough-ass Sean Porter when he was still a bulldozer, when he was still a damn rough, rugged fighter out to prove to everybody it's a reason why I'm the champ, right? He was out to prove that to everybody. He went in there and fought Danny Garcia out the card and fuck it, let's get it. You hear me? I'm going in there with Danny. Danny a hard-punching dude. I'm going to go in here and smoke Danny, and he beat Danny worse than Danny's ever been beat before. So, I don't know. People just be, he's a hype job. Bro, you don't be no hype job winning 3 belts in the welterweight division with them dudes that was in there. Your Dennis Ugas won those slouch. People thought Sean Porter lost to your Dennis Ugas. People really think that to this day, people say he lost. I'm 50-50 on it, man. Sean could have lost that fight for real. I wouldn't have been mad if Ugas won that fight. Errol went in there and stopped Ugas and beat the hell out of him. Now he a hype job, he ain't shit cause Terrence not getting the fights he want. Now he ain't shit. Come on, bro. You know the PBC gonna play their business, man. They are not gonna let Bud sign one fight deals and then get the belts and go off to another promotional company. They not gonna do that, right? I want to see Bud fight Canelo Alvarez. I really do. That's the fight I really want to see. You know, I want to see him fight other top competition. But you know how the promotional companies play, man. They ain't like, yo, man, okay, cool. And for one, if Errol Spence pressed the button, because he pressed the button, why should I hate Errol? Why is he a joke when the man gave us a fight we was dying to see? When his own team said he shouldn't take the fight, they told him, they went against him saying you shouldn't go with this fight. They was trying to stop the fight from happening. He made them make that fight happen. Told them, I'm not fighting Keith Thurman. I told y'all I'm not fighting Keith. It's over with. I'm going to sit and wait until Terrence Crawford is ready. I'm not taking no other fights. I want to fight him before I move up and wait. And he gave us a fight with two fighters in their prime. Now, again, you know, if you're an Errol Spence fan like me, that was tough to watch. But then it's for the sport of boxing, that was one of the most beautiful performances I've ever fucking seen in my life from Terrence Crawford. Errol Spence is a great fighter. Terrence Crawford is a generational fighter. He's a generational fighter. Different thing. Errol Spence still is a great fighter. Terrence Crawford is just on another level, generational. It's okay to say Errol is a great fighter. Give your man a bigger kudos. Terrence Crawford is generational, and he is. But Errol ain't trash because he got beat by him. It's just too much, all this extra shit people putting on him, man. Like, come on. You know? And again, if Errol want to press the light on the green light on a rematch, which I believe he's going to do, they probably told him, hey, man, you got to make the world want this fight again, Errol. Let's put you in there against some other top quality competition. Show them you're still the EJ that fought at least your Dennis Ugas. And then we can get the fight back on with Terrence Crawford, and because the fanfare will probably get buzzed back up if you were to stop a Sebastian Fundora. You know what I mean? If you were to beat a Tim Tszyu, then it will be back where it needs to be. But hating Errol Spence and want other folks to hate him is just ridiculous to me. Knock it off.